What up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. You too can be great, great, great. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. What is it? Season 12, episode 7 review. I'm cussing Dennis and Marlo out. This review, I'm cussing both them motherfuckers out. And I'm going to tell you why as we go along. So, the episode is titled, What Would Michelle Obama Do? Michelle Obama just did, she did an interview where she said something regarding marriage. And she gave pointers on how you handle yourself when you're fighting with your spouse and how you proceed with communicating with them. So it was mentioned, and that's what they titled this episode. Now, the episode starts off with Kenya visiting Cynthia at her house. Cynthia is too busy getting a closet ready for a man that she is not engaged to, doesn't even live in the same town as her, doesn't even live in the same state as her. And she is by here being her thirsty ass is creating a spot for a non-existent individual who they have not even decided is whether he's going to move to the house or she's going to move to where he's at. But she calls Kenya to the house, not only to bother her life by talking to her about a damn closet and saying that she's a hoarder, but trying to get Kenya to help her make some space in the room that she converted into a closet because she's anticipating that the man's going to come live with her. She's already made up her mind that he's going to be the one to move to her house and he's going to be the one to propose to her on her own timeline. So her thirst bucket ass, this is what she called Kenya to do. Kenya is asking her, are y'all even engaged? Like, why are you making room for a man that you don't even for sure know if you're even getting married? Did y'all get engaged and we don't know about it? Cynthia makes a crack and, making shade that she married Mark within 3 months of them getting to know each other. Why is she worried that she's making space for a man who don't live there? Cynthia is beyond thirsty. While I'm happy for her for finding joy and finding a man that seems to love her from what I see, she's doing the most. Now, especially for somebody who's about to get married for the third time, calm that down, girl, and let things happen in its own time. Like, you out here rushing the situation. You'll rush yourself to a divorce if you're not careful. Just let things go on its own and stop kind of putting stuff on there because you're so in love. Be in love. Enjoy your time, but don't overdo it. Then she brings up the whole Nene situation. Now, I know that Nene deliberately then tells Cynthia that she was recorded talking shit. She made Cynthia find out about it by way of Kandi, and that was deliberate because she wants Cynthia to be just as bothered as she was when she found out that Cynthia was talking shit. And it obviously worked because Cynthia, after asking what's her name, Giovanna, in the last episode and getting that Giovanna didn't do it, she is concerned that Marlo is the next victim as the person who recorded her and sent it to Nene. We have not confirmed who did the recording yet. However, she is bothered by it and she makes sure to bring it up to Kenya that she wants to know who the hell would do such a thing, and she's not concerned about Nene edgeless leaks and her saying that she's recording her, that she's not caring about it, but she's bothered. She's definitely bothered. Then she also discusses with Kenya about how Mark and her interact with each other when they fight. Kenya says that when they have arguments, she has to kind of decipher what Mark is trying to say. And I don't like relationships like that. I can't even have friendships like that, let alone a marriage. If you are not direct with me, let me know. Do you not like the toothbrush, the toothpaste? Do you not like broccoli when I make dinner? Do you not like, don't give me have me sitting up here like we're in a riddle. The rest of our relationship, like you're the damn Sphinx. And I have to sit here and try to figure out what it is going on in your head. I can't read minds. Tell me what you want. We're already married. You're supposed to tell me. I don't want to sit here and guess. You are not a child. I should, you can speak eloquently. You can articulate your thoughts, articulate what you think, even in an argument. You don't just not talk to me, get mad and ravage and do all this crazy stuff, call me out my name, and then expect me to sit there and piece things together and say, okay, well, he, even though he called me a bitch, he's just mad about last night's dinner. What the hell? Who wants to live like that? The next scene we got is Kandi and Todd. Ace is so cute. Ace is adorable. Like, that boy is cute. And Riley calls Kandi and decides that she wants to buy, a jacket or something like that was $168, and she wants her mama to buy it. Riley obviously is spoiled because she's spending $168 of her money to get something. I'm thinking to myself, what girl her age is $168? Hell, I don't remember. I had to work 2 jobs, and I don't even think I had that in hand to buy that stuff. But she has money. Her mom works hard. Makes sense. Riley and Todd's daughter are still on the outs. They don't have a relationship. Riley and Todd and Kayla don't really talk to each other, according to Kandi, maybe because there's an age gap there, or maybe because they came into each other's lives when they're already kind of grown a little bit, so they weren't able to build that bond. But that's what Kandi says. Kandi also talks to, what's her name, comes to the house. I forgot her name. Her friend comes to the house to see her, and they talk about what Todd's been doing. I feel like Todd, and sometimes he feels inferior compared to Kandi. Clearly, Kandi makes more money than Todd because she's had more time to invest. She was in the music group. She's had a long opportunity and investments that she made prior to Todd even being on this show, even Real Housewives of Atlanta, before she met him. And Kandi's mom made a huge point in letting the entire world know that Kandi makes more money than the man that she's marrying. And no matter how much Todd works hard, I feel like that stigma is always going to be behind his head because he's going out of his way to get into all these different businesses. So far, he went and bought a damn tractor. And they have a child coming, a baby coming. And he's out here doing all these things that's taking him away from home. And I feel like it's almost like he wants to make sure he's keeping up with his wife so he doesn't feel inferior. There are men out there that are comfortable within themselves and are okay knowing that their wife makes more money because the wife is not always telling them, I make more money than you. I pay all the bills. You don't want to emasculate them that way. But because Kandi's mom has done what she did, we will never forget that she said that Kandi took lemons and made lemonade. We'll never forget that she said Todd was screwing Carmen at some point. We'll never look at the point where she said that she raised a millionaire and who's Todd. I feel like Kandi did not check her mom the way that she's supposed to check her mom because she emasculated your husband on national television to where this man is now doing all these different businesses like we see. The next episode, they did a preview with Kandi telling Todd that he has 6 new businesses and not doing anything with them. It's almost like he wants to make sure that he's able to keep up with his wife, that he's doing all these different things and try to keep that so he doesn't feel like he's inferior. He's not bringing nothing into this relationship, especially because now they have 2 kids together. Then we got the situation with Todd and his daughter. They're not talking this week. This is an unhealthy situation. As a man and as a father, Todd needs to be the one to initiate the situation and fix whatever's happening with his daughter. Because there ain't no way I'm finna go a week without talking to my father and he's not calling me to make sure I'm okay. What kind of shit is that? Like, I don't understand that, you can't really feed into your kids bullshit and maybe like help them become a brat if she's really is being a brat. But y'all shouldn't be going like a month without talking, a week without talking. God forbid something happens to her. What you gonna do? Oh, the last time I talked to her was a month ago. I wish I talked to her for a month. No, like what if something is happening to her? Like that's just too much stubbornness. It's not healthy. And Kandi does raise a good point that she's about to have a daughter and she's afraid that Todd might create that same dynamic because apparently even Riley sometimes had that same issue with Todd. And she says it in the point of, he's not my dad. He shouldn't say that. Now, Kandi, this is where I have an issue. You didn't say anything to your mom when you needed to check her ass when she was talking about your man and dogging him out the way that she was. She needed to be checked, okay? You didn't check her. Now you get you saying that your daughter says things to you like, why does he say that to me? He's not my dad. You are married to this man and your children have to be able to respect his position as your husband. That don't mean he needs to hit her. He don't need to put his hand in her. He doesn't even touch Riley. He doesn't need to do nothing. But Riley, if you checked her, make sure that she knows that Todd does have a right to correct her if she does something wrong. He's your husband, so he's supposed to look out for her as well. He doesn't have to smother her or be somebody that he's not. But it's not like Riley's biological dad is in her life either. So you didn't spoil this girl so much that she has the audacity to act the way that she does and be a brat. No, my fiance has children. I don't have any children. My fiance has children, okay? He has enough. And even though I plan on having children with him in the future, a couple of the children live with me. And I said, I don't have a problem with the children stay with me. I love children. I'm very good with children. I'm a huge nurturer, even though I cuss people out in these damn videos. I'm a good nurturer and I know how to teach kids the right way and love them. And I'm able to treat other people's children like I would treat my own, which is not what I can say for a lot of people. However, if I'm marrying you, I'm marrying to a built-in family. If I'm going to treat your children the way that I would want somebody to treat my kids, love them the way that I would want somebody to love them, communicate with them, cook for them, clean after them, do their laundry, make sure they're straight. I'm paying for the house that they're going to be sleeping in. I'm also contributing to the food they're going to be eating. I'm also contributing to their joy. Ain't no way this kid's going to come up to me and tell me, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. Well, then go find your mama. Have her do all the shit I'm doing then if you want to shut the hell up. That's how I feel. So you're not about to disrespect me like that and you're not going to do it in my own home. So unless I'm treating you like a stepmother, I'm being mean to you, or I'm really like being cruel to you, you need to make sure that your kid understand the position that I play because you chose to marry me. And you married me because you felt like I would treat your kids with respect and with love. So your kids need to know their place as well. Okay? I am daddy's wife. And as daddy's wife, I'm going to support and take care of you. However, you need to make sure that you give me the respect that I deserve because I know damn well I earned it. Now, the next thing we got Marlo and Porsha. And they're touring and they're pedaling on this little mini bus looking thing. They're touring around. And as they're touring, Gary from Dish Nation is driving around with his vehicle, rich ass vehicle. He sees them on the road and Porsha's like, I never see this man on the road. This is interesting. They chopped up a little bit. They keep going. While they're doing this thing, they pass by Dennis's hot dog factory, one of his buildings, his hot dog factory. Marlo's messy ass decides to take her in to go to a company that the man that she's fighting with, who had cheated on her, she wants to go and eat. While they're eating, Marlo decides to go ahead and call Dennis. And she's saying, I'm gonna make sure y'all are together. Marlo loves Dennis, and she don't love Dennis because he's a nice person. She loves Dennis because he has money. You know, Marlo chases money. That's what she wants. So Marlo is a straight up gold digger. We all know that. It's not news. She's a straight up gold digger. But here's the thing. She is now sitting there, and the thing that's coming out of her damn mouth is so fucking ignorant. I want her to shut the fuck up. She told Porsha that Porsha needs to tell Dennis that she loves him, knowing that Porsha and him are currently not even together because this man didn't cheat on her while she was pregnant and while she was still going through postpartum. She wants to sit there and say, you can say I love you. You can say I love you back. No, the fuck I can't. Who am I supposed to love? I don't love this behavior you exhibited towards me. You don't deserve to even hear those words come out of my mouth, because people just throw love around like it's just something, you know, an easy, simple word. It means something to Porsha. You don't just give it away to somebody just because they have money. Number two, she says something like, you know, people mess up. This is what I said in my last video. Infidelity in a relationship is not just something to overlook. It's not something to just say when things happen, people make mistakes. No, because I'm going to tell y'all later how Dennis is behaving, how I feel like he thinks that this shit will be normal because he has money. And Marlo's dumbass is a horrible friend to have in situations like this, because even if Porsha was getting her ass beat, she going to tell Porsha to stay and forgive because mistakes happen. Marlo needs to shut her ass up. She's pissing me off. In this same dynamic, in this same scene, she also brought up the whole Nene situation prior to them going to the hot dog factory. And she says that Nene put her business out there with Greg, and she feels like Porsha should do the same. Porsha should not do the same, because when infidelity is involved and she has a celebrity status of some sort, everybody's going to insert their opinion of what they think that she should do with her relationship without even knowing what's going on behind closed doors to the full extent. And Porsha cannot make a decision based on what society thinks. She has to make a decision privately based on what she has to go through when the cameras are off. So no, Marlo, she don't need to put her business out there. I didn't even think Nene should have put the business with her and Greg and Cancer out there so loosely. You should have handled that privately to get this man the peace of mind he needs to really go through this situation, not broadcast it. So Marlo, you are not the person that anybody needs to talk to when they're going through something, because clearly your common sense is lacking. I cannot rely on your reality. I cannot rely on your logic. Your logic is flawed and it's unreliable. Then we got Porsha and Marlo talking about Nene and how Nene treated Porsha. And Porsha was clear, said that Nene hurt her. Nene edgeless leaks, so shady, hurt her because of how she was talking about her, because when she was pregnant, Nene was calling her fat. I mean, she called Kenya a buffalo. And then after she stopped being pregnant, Nene kept going after her when she was breastfeeding online. Some of the messages she was saying, calling her a hungry ass bitch, all these crazy things, and it really offended her. She felt like she didn't deserve it. So she's not happy with Nene, especially when she felt like she did try to support her during her Greg situation. The next thing we got, Nene's meeting her life coach, Tamra, and Greg. And Nene tells Greg that he needs to go because they're going to talk about him. Anyway, Nene's wearing a necklace. If y'all notice, the necklace says loved on it, like L-O-V-E-D, that she's loved on it. It's different colors. And she mentions that she wanted Greg to admit some things because it's healing for him to admit certain things where he did wrong. I am choosing not to talk about Nene and Greg's marriage, because from what I'm seeing on my end and from the way that Nene is behaving, I'm not hearing anything from Greg. So I'm having a hard time being able to assess the situation appropriately, because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, prior to Greg having cancer, Nene and Greg were having issues. They almost went through a divorce. And probably the marriage was hitting a breaking point. So there's a lot of things that probably would have occurred that would have made Nene or Greg not want to be with each other, right? And then he got cancer, and then it kind of put everything in a halt and added more pressure to it. She felt like maybe this is not the right time to leave a man who's, yeah, you're married to, he's having cancer. Would this be a good time to put divorce on his, his plate too? It's kind of heartless to have him go through that when you didn't know if he was going to live the next day or not. So she ended up staying in the relationship and carried all that baggage even through while he was going through cancer. She had to stomach all that and go through it, and she was just lashing out left and right. Now that we know that he's now going to live by the grace of the Most High, he's going to live and he's going to live to see another day. Everything is great. She wants to go back and forth and, review everything that transpired prior and have him admit some things. I think that when somebody goes through a life and death situation, all the minimal things, all the little things that y'all argue about, they stop mattering. They don't have any weight. And when you've now fought and and survived something like cancer, I think Greg at this point is probably just throwing the towel, like, you know what, I'm gonna give you whatever the hell you want because you stuck by me through this entire situation. And I don't think that Nene should hold on to some of the stuff that happened because she chose to stay when this man was dying. I feel like if she keeps harping on things and she's not able to let certain things go, it's gonna be a problem. Because I also know that Nene has a problem taking responsibility when she is wrong. She doesn't like to take responsibility when she's wrong. And she reminds me a little bit of Quad. She reminds me of Quad. Quad has a smart mouth, but Quad is very sensitive if you say something about her. Nene has a very smart mouth, but she's very sensitive when you say something about her. And she doesn't let things go. Neither does Quad. And that's not a good trait for a person to have. So I'm hoping that this life coach can help her come to the realization that sometimes, for the sake of peace, it's okay to just say, I'm sorry, just so you can get the good parts and move on from it and bury the hatchet. Even if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, because she said that she wants to get her sisterhood without having to apologize. I don't see that happening. You're going to have to give some apology to some people, i.e. Porsha, i.e. Eva, who you recorded. People that you hurt with your actions. An apology is needed. At the same time, Cynthia's ass, and some people need to apologize to you too, but you cannot just expect things to just go back to normal without having that closure. It's just not possible or realistic. She also talks about how Tanya was so excited because they flash back to the scene where Tanya is excited inviting her to Toronto for the carnival, and she's just like, I'm gonna think about it because I got 4 bald spots from all these girls trip, and they flash back to the girls trip and her arguing with Porsha, or arguing with somebody. She's not wanting to go into situations like this because she's trying to work on herself. She said that's why she left Marlo's party. She felt like she'll get out of herself and Nene will come out. So she didn't want to stay at the Marlo's event, her hair, whatever party thing, disclosure thing, or whatever, letting people know. She didn't want to stay there because she felt like she'll get out of character. So she left. So the life coach is giving her advice on how to cope with things and basically telling her that some part of you will probably have to take responsibility for some things. You can't just expect people to take responsibility for things and you don't do the same. It's just not logical. Then the next thing we got is at Kandi's house. Kayla's about to leave for New York. And even though she and Todd haven't necessarily mended things, she gave him a hug. Ace is so cute. He makes me want to have kids, for real. He's so cute because he's out here saying his grace before he eats. It's time to go, Mom. He's adorable. And then Kandi lets us know that she's the one who's going to take Kayla to the airport, and that she feels like she would like her and Kayla to have a better relationship. And I feel like Todd, a part of him is interfering with that. Because if Kandi really builds a strong relationship with Kayla, she will give Kayla the same amount of treatment that she gives Riley. She'll shower Kayla with gifts, give her money, spoil her, put her in expensive apartments, help her really enjoy life, and possibly give her money to start her business, her clothing business. And I don't think Todd wants that on his head, because I think Todd has a lot of pride. Because after Kandi's mom then went on national television and said that he don't have any money, that he's broke, it looks bad on him for the woman that he's married to now send all this money to the daughter that doesn't biologically belong to her, and to go and put all this energy towards her because it might make him look bad too. Like, that's my daughter. I should be able to do it for her. She doesn't need you to do it. But that's kind of driving a wedge between her and Kandi, and also between her and Todd, Kayla and Todd, because Kayla is not able to express that she does want the same things that Riley does sometimes. She wants the same treatment. She wants to be, have things a little bit easier, and Todd is going out of his way to make it difficult. But then Ace is not going to go through the same thing. The new daughter that Kandi's having is not going to go through the same. Kandi's going to treat those kids, both Ace and the daughter coming, the same spoiled way she treated Riley because she has enough money. And Kayla's going to feel like she's just on the outs. So Todd needs to just get over himself. You created this dynamic. Let it go. Because Kandi Kandi's not going to check her mama. Just keep your space, from her, but allow Kayla to enjoy this marriage you created as well. So if Kandi wants to spoil her, let her do it because she's part of the family now. So I don't feel like that's also an issue. And Kandi does want this relationship. So, because I told my fiance, Do not interfere. If I'm yelling at the kids or we're having a disagreement, do not interfere, because these kids have to get to know me as I am. They have to understand my levels, when I'm angry, when I'm not. When they're comfortable, they have to get to know me as well, because these kids will come up to me and be like, can you cook? Please, can you make dinner? I'm hungry. We've been waiting all day so you can eat. They'll be home all day. I'm like, y'all have hands. Yeah, but we want you to do it. So they're comfortable enough to ask me for stuff. They need to be comfortable enough for me to scold them when they do something wrong. So when I'm scolding them, when I'm giving them something, stay out of it. Let them bond with me, because I've chosen, and you have chosen me to this family. I've chosen to be in this kind of matrimony. Don't insert yourself. Let us all get to know each other in the normal way, even if we're fighting. And I think Todd's behavior is interfering with Kayla and Kandi's ability to really bond. And that's just not cool. Then we got Mike, Cynthia, Eva, and her husband Michael now going out to bowling. They're meeting up. Mike and Cynthia are cute. They are a cute couple, because Mike loves her ass and then some. But they're also trying to figure out the moving situation. Eva's always pregnant. Damn, every season she is always pregnant. She's either pregnant or ready to have the baby, but she got something in her oven every time. And she's there pregnant as hell about the bus. Shows up with Michael. They're eating, and Mike has some sugar in his tank, as in the sense that he has some spiciness in his tank. He does not have a problem. He's like Peter. He does not have a problem speaking his mind when he needs to, and really giving it to you, because he says that whoever recorded Cynthia was a piece of shit, because they doing it to start shit. And apparently Cynthia already told her man that this is what's going on. So he's about to get messy with the business and say how he feels and be open, because he wants to protect his soon-to-be wife. And Eva and her shady self, or pregnant self, talks about Nene and says that Nene is a narc. Nene works for the feds, and Nene, because Nene recorded her, Nene is obsessed with recording, and she is obsessed with the fact that putting people out there, putting people on blast, and that Nene is just a whole ass mess. Eva's shade towards Nene this entire season is on point. I hate to say it, but Eva can shade the fuck out of somebody. She don't like Marlo, and she shaded the hell out of her, and she damn sure don't like Nene. If you are on Eva's bad side, be prepared, because her words are lethal as a motherfucker. Quad's words are lethal as a motherfucker. Jackie's words are lethal as a motherfucker. There's some people that if you are on their bad side, they will get you and they will just keep cutting you. I can't wait till Nene watches this entire season and hears all the shit that Eva's saying, because that reunion is gonna be something else, because Nene's gonna have some shade for her. Hopefully she don't get told off like what's her name? Claudia told her off. I feel like Eva is low-key like Claudia, because Claudia's reads for Nene were on point. I feel like Eva's right up there. She's saying all the right things, and we're hearing it. Now, the next scene, we got Kenya meets up with Kristen, an attorney, to discuss how to preserve her assets, because obviously now I think Kenya is considering divorce. She's thought about it, and she's considering what it looks like for her and her daughter if she did go forward divorce, because they don't have a prenup because Mark didn't believe in it. So she's trying to figure out the best way to hide her assets, hide her assets, so that way there are certain things that will not be taken into consideration in the event of a divorce, i.e. her $1.8 million house, her business, and she's saying that she's trying to protect her daughter. No, she's trying to hide her assets, and I know the best way to do it is to get a trust. If you have a trust fund, a living trust, you can put, maybe your sisters that you trust, or your father, or somebody that you know you trust as the beneficiary. And you can have your house and your assets and your business and everything under that trust. And if you end up in a divorce, that trust technically doesn't belong to you. It belongs to somebody else. And every asset that you have within that trust cannot be touched. So this attorney lets her know that that is the best way to protect your trust. But whoever the hell you name as your beneficiary, whoever you give a power of attorney to, is the person that could possibly fuck you over if you do something wrong. So choose wisely. During the confessional, they ask her why she's not going to have Mark be the power of attorney for something that has to do with her daughter. She says something like, well, if Mark doesn't agree with the decision that I made, he could change it. That's absolutely true. He can change it, and it seems like he has his own mind. At the same time, she doesn't want Mark to be her power of attorney. And this is not just all about Brooklyn. This is about protecting her and her hard work as well. And she can't put Mark as the power of attorney if she's trying to do stuff to hide the shit and make sure he doesn't touch it. That don't make sense. Now, the next thing we got Porsha meeting up with therapist Dr. Sherry, right? And in this therapy session, we got Dennis and her sitting here. Dennis is motherfucking bald-headed, ugly-ass, Oh, I can't stand that man. Every time I think about him, I think of detergent. Like I just want to take it and, you know, scrub his head or something. He pisses me off because as he's talking to the therapist and they're asking him to take responsibility for what he did, he's like, it was just a mistake. The fuck out of here. You don't mistakenly pull your pants down, pull your penis out, stick it in somebody that is not your wife or your girlfriend. Sit there and complete the deed to where you could possibly get her pregnant or get a disease and bring it home to me. Hide it through text messages. Continue to hide stuff behind my back. It is a pre-calculated, literally offensive behavior. It was not a mistake. It was a mistake your ass got caught. Because as he's talking, I don't hear the remorse. His dumb ass says something like, well, when you were pregnant sex is not like regular sex. The fuck? So every time that she's pregnant in the future, if she chooses to have a baby by you, because pregnant sex is different than when she's not pregnant, that gives you the right to go and cheat. You can't stomach and be quiet or be content for 9 months while somebody's carrying your baby that you put in there. You have to go and find it from somebody else, even though Porsha says they were having sex, but he tried to make it seem like, oh, the sex wasn't that good because she was pregnant. She is carrying a whole baby that she is literally incubating for 9 months to health. And she's having to, when she's tired, when she's got to go to work, still have time to give you some. You who don't have any baby in your stomach but looks like you're carrying one all the time, want to sit up there and go cheat on her and say that's the reason why? The fuck? This man is out of his damn mind and he is full of himself. And I feel like he only chose this therapy session because he wanted to just seem like he really gives a damn. But in this session, it's almost like he's taking it as a damn joke. Porsha is pouring her heart out saying that she is not willing to be in a relationship where there's no love and there's this much disrespect, especially when she got a daughter in the mix. And you're out here saying that it's because she was pregnant and going through postpartum. We had a hard time. The fuck? So every time you guys have a problem, you gonna go cheat? He talks about how it was a poor and selfish decision and how he's remorseful and he loves her and he wants their daughter. What you do is you want Porsha to be there for you as your trophy wife. Porsha is beautiful, and now you think she's smart. She knows what she wants out of life, and you also want her there, but you want her to be there while you go and cheat on her, but in the back and say you're sorry because you have money. You think that that's okay for you to do what you're supposed to do. I feel like Dennis has cheated multiple times before in the past. He's gotten away with it in the past because his entire aura, his demeanor, the way he's responding to the questions, it's almost like, are you guys cutting and pasting these responses to make him look a certain way? Or is this really how he sounds in real life? Like, Porsha, how could you want this from somebody? This man said your pregnant sex was different from the sex you were having when you're not pregnant. That's the reason why he went and cheated? Who says that? Really? Then we sit up here and Porsha makes it a point that she is not willing to be in her marriage the way that it is, and that she does love him, but she doesn't want to tell him that she loves him because saying those words to him means that he doesn't deserve it. And after the therapy session, that's basically a cop-out and a smoke screen and a freaking outlet just so he can get back into Porsha's pants. As they're driving away, he tells her she's beautiful and then he follows it up with, can I come over today? I'm so mad. Porsha, I love me some Porsha. I love her spirit. I love everything about her. And I feel like she can do better. I do. I feel in my heart she can do better. I just don't have any respect for a grown man who's a successful man. You are intelligent, but Dennis is intelligent. He has a successful hot dog business. But cheating to me is not something that is tolerable. There's so many risks that come about doing that, including getting somebody pregnant. I've seen situations to where girls have gotten diseases that they didn't even ask for, and they were good at home, being good wives to you or good husbands to you, and you didn't affect them with something that they can't cure. You taking this lightly, like, oh, it's just cheating. I made a mistake. It was a poor decision. Can I come over? Like, it's almost like it's a joke to him. And for me, I don't feel like if she takes him back, maybe like in 4 or 5 more years, he's going to do it again. Because when they were talking about the postpartum situation, he said that was the reason why he basically went out and cheated. Porsha's like, I saw those text messages after the baby was born. Like, how can you be in the house with me, playing that you love me, being there doing what you're supposed to do, through, hanging out with me, making me feel like you're present and you're available, but you're out here fucking somebody else and you telling me it's a poor decision? I need to calm down. Because I feel like I'm going to go off and I'm going to start screaming. And I don't want to do that right now because I'm still recovering. My voice is not fully there. It hurts sometimes for my throat to talk this long. juice is bomb. It helps. So please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. YouTube can be great. This is a channel. Follow me on YouTube. YouTube can be _channel, _great _channel. I'm here to give y'all the tea. I will do Married to Medicine if it's not boring. And I'll definitely do Love and Hip Hop Reunion. And I'll go ahead and I'll do other reviews. If I see any tea, I'm going to talk about it. Just thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and take a look at the other 2 videos I posted and let me know what you think. Let me know what you let me know what you think about this episode. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night. And God bless.